Hello guys, welcome back to the Vince and Ross Show. We have a very exciting episode for you today. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. And if you know me, you know what that is. Aliens. That's right, aliens. There has been some tremendous stories coming out in the news lately. And today we're going to talk about one that is exciting and, to be honest, a little bit scary. So let's go ahead and go to the very first pick. This guy here is named David Grusch. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. David Grusch. And he came out recently on News Nation and did about a 45-minute interview. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. If what this guy is saying is true, our government has had a secret program investigating UFOs and aliens for the last upwards of 80, possibly 90 years. It's absolutely fascinating. You should check it out on News Nation. We'll give them credit for that. He says a lot of other things, which is really what we're talking about, because let's be honest, we've all seen shows like X-Files and stuff like that. And the idea of us having a government, secret department of the FBI or something like that, it really isn't that surprising. Why wouldn't we have somebody at least looking into it? Number one, he says that aliens are here. He says that we've been tracking them for a while. He says that there has been multiple UFOs that have crashed. That we actually, and I say we as in America, have collected UFOs.
Now, was he referring to them as non-human vehicles, or is that what?
Basically, what you said, non-human. And
dead pilots.
Yeah, and exactly, and that we've retrieved dead pilots. Dead pilots, dude. That's dead aliens. That's crazy. All of this stuff, I love sci-fi. So to me
too, yeah.
It's kind of like, well, duh. But to actually hear someone like this come out and say this stuff, in fact, let us know what you guys think in the comment section about this guy. I've seen a lot of videos trying to debunk him, either to discredit him or credit him, and the guy seems pretty legit. He says that the United States of America currently is in possession of several alien vehicles that they're trying to reverse engineer, which that also makes sense to the X-File viewers out there, and that we have alien bodies.
He's also talking a lot about technology. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. He's like, I can't believe that there is this kind of technology that's being held from society, and it's stuff that could be very useful. Well, so I'm curious.
Definitely. Now, the one thing that I will kind of agree with, and I hate to say this to any of my, because I want full disclosure, believe me, but I can kind of understand how maybe some things really just are a little above us. Like, I don't know if we could handle anti-gravity. Imagine if everybody had a flying car right now. Don't you think that'd be a little dangerous?
I'm having a hard time just making a pass. And
just imagine you're just sleeping at night and this car just crashes through your window because someone's flying around. Gee, like in Back to the Future 2. Remember all the cars and stuff they had flying around? And it just seemed to work okay because they had like these traffic lanes in the sky.
The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element. But even still, it seems as that's all. It's super cool in the movies.
I'm still waiting for people to still use blinkers.
Those are getting amazing. You damn blinker, much like a rare flying car. So I understand how the government may want to at least, watch this stuff. But that being said, anti-gravity would change the world. If they're holding something like that back, that is a crime against humanity.
I don't think humanity is ready for anti-gravity.
I don't either. But I don't believe that the U.S. government has the authority to tell everybody else whether they're ready or not to have some kind of technology like that. So if what he's saying is true, it kind of pisses you off and be like, wait a minute, guys, what the hell else are you hiding from us? Okay, now here's another photo we're going to check out. Now this right here is supposed to be an actual photo of a real UFO, and a lot of you may have seen this this photo. It's actually a clip from a video. I believe this one is the there was 3 videos that came out from the Nimitz, the Go Fast, and the Tic Tac. Yeah, exactly. That is from that, and this is supposed to be a 100% legit photo of a UFO. I've heard a few skeptics come out and try to say how it's the rear view of a jet. I don't think so.
Doesn't have like a jet shape to it.
Well, I mean, you would think that
It's got like a tail. It looks like it's got like a tail. Almost looks like a giant as a stingray in the sky.
All right. It's one thing for me or you to think what we see about this. It's another for a trained Air Force pilot to be up there flying these multi-billion-dollar jets. They know what they're looking at, and when they're saying like that David Fravor guy, I think that's what his name is.
How fast was it going?
But when they talk about what they've seen, they're blown away. And you would think these guys are flying the most state-of-the-art technology jets. They're not going to be just absolutely blown away by something if it's something like that. They're going to be used to seeing that kind of stuff. Bringing us to the most terrifying part of the story, and that is this right here. Not only does the U.S. government possess crashed UFOs, and not only do we have dead alien pilots, but apparently humans have been killed by aliens on Earth. If that doesn't terrify you, I don't know what will.
It is terrifying. I mean, I believe there is definitely higher intelligence than human beings think.
Mathematically speaking, it's nearly impossible for there to only be life on Earth. To say that we're alone, that's laughable. Laughable. Now, I understand the debate on whether or not they are intelligent, or I should say advanced enough to have made the distance of travel, but apparently from this guy, they are that advanced and they're here. It's kind of crazy because he kind of does also delve into the fact that they may not actually be from that far away. He says that it's a possibility that some of these alien races are interdimensional beings. So you might not even recognize this thing for what it really looks like. I've seen some videos where they try to describe what the shadow of a fourth dimensional object or shape or being would look like in the third dimension.
Was it Michio Kaku?
Actually, I've seen a couple of videos. He's great. He's got to be one of my favorite scientists out there. But back to the interdimensional thing, it basically insinuating that they can punch in and out whenever they want to.
It's T-1000 style.
And it's crazy. It's crazy that some of these things would be able to get around time. So, I mean, all this stuff is absolutely mind-blowing.
Because that is the thing. That I've even spoke to people, whether at work or hanging out, there are people that just straight out deny it. Deny alien existence or UFOs or God and aliens. So
what kind of denier are you? Is it because I've come across the deniers that don't believe in aliens whatsoever, and they also don't believe in any kind of like ghost or spiritual or God or anything like that. And at least that's a true denier. At least I give it to them, a true denier. He don't believe in shit.
He's an atheist, alien denier.
And then there's some people out there that are like, they believe in aliens, but they don't believe in any kind of like spiritual stuff or ghost or God or anything like that. And I kind of think that's a little half-assed. And it's the same thing, like people that believe that there's angels and demons, but there's no such thing as aliens. There's only and that's the most ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous. I do kind of believe in the ancient alien theory. It's easy to understand how if a caveman saw a UFO, he'd look up and he would be absolutely blown away. He'd try to tell his friends in his language, which they would have no words for that stuff. And he would try to draw on the walls what he saw. And I believe that's what we have. And how far back has this been going? I mean, I've been saying it for years, kind of in a funny way. You know, we've got the song 10,000 Years about how aliens have been on planet for a very long time. But this here is pretty scary.
Which I've had a lot of the fans tell me that they also believe in aliens.
Really?
You're like, all right, well,
Well, that's good because it seems like every time I ask that question on stage, I always get like the, how about that go over?
But it is scary though. Going back to it, it is scary to think that just people are being murdered by other life forms.
I think it's terrifying because when I was a kid, I was always led to believe that aliens were going to be like this right here. You know, happy little guys with little glowing hearts. You're going to become friends. You know, you're going to go on a magical bicycle ride across the sky with the moon in the background. It was going to be magical.
Look at him. He's got a pot of flowers.
Yeah, he's awesome. Little guy, E.T. It turns out they're more like this right here. I mean, that's terrifying.
Look like a lizard.
You know? I hope that if the government has a secret program where they're studying these nasty bastards, they've got like some of those, you know, the Marines that are like totally packing heat, like the guys from Doom or Aliens 2, those Marine kind of guys, dude. You know, I hope so.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness, that is terrifying. Well, that wraps up this week's video on whistleblower David Grusch. We'll be sure to bring you news on this story as we receive it. Guys, do us a favor, hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. It allows us to survive and continue making videos for you. So be sure to check back often, and remember,
Be good to each other and stay rocking.
It's the Vincent Ross Show.
Is everybody out there nuts?
I don't know who these jokers are.
The whole world gone crazy!
Don't make me come down there.
well, that wraps up this week's video on David Grusch, whistleblower on UFOs and dead aliens, trying to kill